Hello everybody. So I have here the Siggy concept, or the Siggy Lichty, and I bought this just about over a year ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, and it is from Siggy Forge, and as I said, this is a Siggy concept, which is now called the Siggy Lichty, named after Lichtenauer. Now, regarding the dimensions of the blade, I believe it is a 101 centimeter blade. Just going to double check that, but I believe that's correct. Yep, so we have a 101 centimeter blade, and the grip itself, including the pommel, if I don't destroy the wall, is 33 centimeters, the grip being 26 centimeters. So we have quite a nice looking sword. It's very slender looking, especially with this shield design and the curves on the shield. We have a 30 centimeter cross guard, which is quite significant and is very able to use for bind work, and you could use this for direct parries, but I wouldn't. Not in normal fencing anyway. You would use this for a bind type situation. Balance is great. It's just off the shield. In fact, I think it is on the shield. You know, a couple of inches away from the actual crossguard itself. So that's very nice. It's a very swift blade, and it can move quite nicely. There are various videos of this being used by the guy who founded the company, Fabian Martin, and also this is the blade that Federico Malaguti uses in his videos as well. So just bear that in mind. This has been tested a lot, and I've tested this quite a bit myself. So yeah, weight wise, about, I think I've written down here, yeah, so about 1,580 grams. It's around that. Each blade has variations, like gram wise. You could have one that's 1,590 grams, you could have one that's 1,570 grams. So it depends, very slight variations, because these are handmade materials, my handmade blades. So we have a nice straight blade, slight rippling down the edge of the blade, which is fine. It's absolutely period correct to the historical type swords. A very slight rippling. You can tell that there is handwork in this. We have here a spatulated tip. The crossguard itself is very simple looking. Over the year and a half I've used this, has not deformed in any regard. However, it has taken, you can tell it's taken parries by the dents on the on this square cross section of the crossguard. It does swell slightly on the opening for the tang to go through. The pommel itself is nice. The peen work is nice and flush, very flat. The grip itself, the material they use for the cord is very nice, held up very nicely. It hasn't unraveled, and it has taken quite a lot of impacts and has stayed solid and not frayed and unraveled. Okay. The grip on my backhand is okay. It's quite thin. There is a swell in this grip as you go towards the crossguard. However, I do think personally that this is quite a thin grip, but it's still very much usable. And the blade itself, we have a bend, you know, 2/3 to the end of the blade. You get the bend, and it is bending slightly in the mid third, so in the middle of the blade it does bend slightly, and it almost doesn't bend at all towards the first third of the blade, and this does show that there is a little bit of distal taper going throughout the blade. you know, you're talking about probably about 4mm, and then a couple millimeters, or probably about 2.5mm towards the end here. And it does, obviously you've got the shield for a little bit of weight distribution, but this, at the end of the shield, it does narrow down, so that's why you get the nice bend in the blade. It does move around very nicely. The feel of the blade is very nice, and over the year and a half this has taken knocks. I've dropped it so many times, and I do get a slight sound coming out of that, but the crossguard, you could flick this and it still makes a ringing noise. Yeah, so that is a good sign that this blade is still solid, still very much in use. It has taken almost 90-degree bends, which you probably wouldn't want to do, or further, and has come true. It hasn't bent, it hasn't warped, and has gone back to straight. No issues with that whatsoever. I have cleaned this so many times, but that's over the fact that, you know, sweaty hands on the pommel causes rust. Doing half swording, things like that, will cause rust on the on your blade here by handling it. But that's easy to clean. Okay. And regarding impacts, bind work, parrying, and things like that, I haven't filed this down whatsoever, and you can see here I can easily run my hands up and down the blade. Good sign of good materials being used in this blade here. Okay, so overall, very nice. I do recommend this. It has been tested by other very, very experienced people, and I would go for something like this. If you were going for a Siggy standard, the same again. It's just that the shield is slightly different, and you can customize these as well, and you can obviously get different pommel, different cross guards, different shield. I'm not sure about the spatulated tip, but there we go. Regarding ordering this, I got this from Tempest Fugitives from the UK. Now, they don't sell this anymore, but you can get this from the website. I do recommend going to the website, and yeah, warranty wise, I believe this is a year. Check the website. But again, I've used this almost twice a week, if not more, and for a year and a half, and it's still in great condition. So I do very much recommend this blade. Okay, I'll leave it there before I blabber on, and I hope you have a good day, and I shall see you guys on the next one. Cheers, guys.